Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. Welcome. I hope you're doing great. I am super happy to welcome you to the First Time Founder Summit. So, my name is Alice, and I am the CEO and co-founder of The Family. I will be your host during this live summit dedicated to startup founders. So, my friends, if you are watching us right now on YouTube, you are welcome to join us on Hopin, and the link is just below. And if you are with me already in Hopin, please introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know what you do, where you are from, how can you help other people, on which kind of topics, what are your passions, etc. Because today is also made for you to connect together. Today we're going to talk about how, with zero previous funding experience, entrepreneurs can actually achieve many of the challenges they are facing for the first time. And with my team, I have selected some really inspiring entrepreneurs, from beginners to already accomplished entrepreneurs. They will all focus on one specific challenge, may it be traction, how to release my first minimum viable product, how can I raise funds with business angels, how to close my first client, etc. So be welcome. But Alice, tell me why the family is launching this summit. Well, we believe that anyone can become an entrepreneur. Okay, it doesn't mean that everyone can. It means that an entrepreneur can come from anywhere. And the very first way to help ambitious founders is to provide real experiences, useful tips, know-how, and that's exactly why we are here today. Okay, so at The Family, for more than 8 years, we've been supporting entrepreneurs by providing education, tools, and access to capital. And you may have heard of some of the startups we love and support, like Algolia, Payfit, June, or Itch. Well, since COVID started, the world has changed radically, and we at The Family believe even more that entrepreneurs can change the world for the better. So we've decided to fully embrace that transformation, and we've switched to a totally remote online mode. So right now, I have the sea in front of me. I'm living in the West Indies, and my co-founders are in Germany or in France. So today at The Family, we offer an intense acceleration program for founders who are ready to take off, no matter where they live. And earlier this year, we hosted our very first online acceleration program. It was a batch of 27 startups, actually 50 founders from 6 different geographies. And we've been working hand in hand together for weeks, focusing on that day, that moment, demo day, to get ready to pitch in front of 700 qualified investors from all over the world. And that experience, my friends, has been super thrilling and promising for The Family, because it confirmed to us that the remote world is actually full of new opportunities, that you can create strong bonds with other passionate founders remotely, that you can grow, hire, raise funds from exactly where you live. You don't need to go to Silicon Valley, okay? So we are today hosting this amazing summit thanks to 4 amazing partners. So huge shout out to AWS, Fiverr, Mixpanel, and Remote. You already know them, but let me tell you let me give you a bit of information on this amazing partner. So AWS, beyond their incredible cloud solution, AWS, they are long-term advocates for startups. And we are thrilled to be working together on initiatives to support the tech community. Fiverr is a global marketplace that connects freelancers and businesses for digital services. So basically, you can find there all of the best freelancers for any kind of task, creating a video for a demo to put on your website, a new design for a landing page, listing all of the prospects in one specific town, or even making your pitch deck look great. You go on Fiverr. We use Fiverr a lot. Mix panel to get valuable customers insight and make smarter decisions based on how customers use your product. You cannot just work with your instinct, you need data. And Remote, finally, Remote is a global startup helping companies of all sizes to hire top talents from all over the world in full compliance with local laws, okay? They handle these problems of local laws. And our partners have been super helpful in getting the best lineup of speakers. If you want to contact them during the event, my friends, you are welcome. You can send a message to Alexandra from AWS, Ellie from Fiverr, Guillaume from Mixpanel, and Ali from Remote. So, before starting with two amazing first-time founders in a second, I want to ask you a question. How are you feeling? Are you comfy and ready to attend the summit? Please show me some love. Give me hearts, fire, diamonds in the chat. And you know what, my friends? I would love you to change your mode. And I love to talk at the family about a certain state of mind to actually understand and use properly the knowledge that you are going to hear. You can put yourself in what I call the sponge mode. It's basically a state of mind in which you open up profoundly. And you welcome the stories, you have fun, you can take notes, you can comment, you can enjoy. You tell yourself, okay, in this specific testimonial, there might be something useful for me. In my case, there is something like a treasure that I must go and get to really keep it and use it. For me, in my case. So get ready to unlock your sponge mode for this summit and ask plenty of questions. Let's make it interactive, really. Okay, we are together. For this summit, we really wanted to put forward how a founder thinks, acts, and grow regardless of their industries and backgrounds. So hopefully, this event won't be boring at all. Why? Because it's short. Entrepreneurs only have 15 minutes. 15 minutes, it's a challenge. 15 minutes to share with you their secrets. The speakers come from different industries, aerospace, engineering, recruitment, logistics. The topics are diverse. Product, customer service, community management, fundraising, and it's a ping-pong kind of talk. So first, you hear the testimonial from an entrepreneur. And then you have the answer, you have the perspective of an advisor, a founder, an expert from AWS, from the family, from Bubble, to complement on their story and to give you more examples, okay? And in addition to that, you have two hands-on pragmatic workshops from our partners. Okay? All right. So now, my friends, I think we can start. We're going to start all together with one session. We're going to discover two amazing founders that I love, Clyde and Max. Clyde and Max, you can join me. We're going to discuss during 20 minutes. We're going to discover these two persons. And then I'll show you the rest of the program. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah,
Cool.
good. Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy to see you. All right, so let's start. You know, I've called this genius or crazy because in the very early days of a startup, it's impossible to tell if an entrepreneur with a big idea is actually a genius or a crazy person. And actually, I think they are both. And my only motto is to respect ambition and to help founders to confront to reality as soon as possible. So, guys, I won't ask you if you are genius or crazy, but I will ask you, what do you do? Can you introduce yourself, Clyde, very quickly, like what is actually doing Dark?
Well, so hi everyone. Thank you for the intro, Alice. My name is Clyde. I've been an engineer for a few years in the aerospace industry. Basically, all my life has been about engineering on aerospace. So we started with one of my colleagues and friends, Dark, which is a company with who we want to orbit satellites directly from the airport. I think that's
all right. Don't tell me more. We're gonna dig into it. Max, your turn. What do you do?
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Max. I love VR. I started building VR headset when I was 15 years old because I couldn't afford to buy an Oculus Rift, the virtual reality headset that was the most hype at the time and the most expensive actually. So I built one myself from scratch. And I turned it into an open source community. I open sourced the hardware, the software, and turned this headset into a group of people, a group of hardcore VR enthusiasts. And some of us went on to work for other companies building their own VR headset. But I hired the best one, hired some people from Apple, the Linux kernel team, and together now we are building a new kind of VR headset after quite a few years of experience building hardware and software in VR just for us.
All right. So, and Max, if you had to summarize in just one sentence your ambition, your mission, what would you say?
Yeah. When I first started building VR headset, I just wanted them to be cheap and affordable, and I just wanted one for myself, actually. I just wanted to play VR. And getting to this point, then I realized that the real thing I'm interested in VR is building a device where if you use it, you really feel like you are with people. Instead of being right now in a live, what I would love to is that you just take my headset, you and I, you put it on and you feel like we are together. You see my avatar, you see my face moving, my body movement. And the goal is to make it so that being with someone virtually feel the same as in real life.
Okay. Big vision. Clyde, can you tell me more profoundly how does it work, Dark? When you start a company like Dark, like you have a big ambition, you just told us that you want to orbit satellites from the airport. How do you start this when you have no previous experience as a founder and no support at the beginning, unless your intelligence and your courage? I mean,
well, I think there's two different aspects in your question. First, on the how we can achieve it well. That's one of the reasons we joined the family, so to have the support and to have the structure. But I would say mainly about the size of the project, because obviously we want to do something which is huge. I think when you first want to start this kind of project, you can't think about the big problem. You need to break the big problem in tiny ones, because obviously we are not going to achieve a rocket tomorrow, but we can do in the next months these different milestones that are going to lead us to the rocket in a few years. So I think that's...
Yes, but can you, Clyde, just go back to your story at the beginning? How did you come up with this idea? Why did you wanted to start this company? Because you could have reached a goal of, and why orbiting satellites from the airport? What is the point of doing that?
I get it. So Well, I have no explanation why I always did things like related to space. It's just a passion. I can't explain it. I think I just love to build, and I just love like the mechanics of what represents a plane and the rocket. But we started Dog because with my co-founder we think that there is today a lot of frustration in the European system about what is going in space in US and other stuff like that. And we think that the next step for space is not about the economics, it's not about the technology, it's in the use of the rocket. So basically, one of the art of the arc is to merge the air and the space regulation, to have like launching systems that can actually fly over your head and then go to space.
All right, and you, Max, like you started to explain like how it all began with you passionate about VR and you couldn't afford a helmet, so you built your own helmet. But now let's go down into the more pragmatic thing. Like, okay, you have this idea. What do you do? Like, how do you overcome the first big barrier, and how do you prioritize that kind of roadmap?
Yeah, that's so. I'll say actually that you asked what's the first barrier and how do you prioritize the roadmap, and it's funny you asked those two questions because I really feel like those two questions are the same. So to make it very clear, what we're trying to do is have the headset, so hardware and software, made for communicating with people. And that's a tricky problem because you have to be able to track the people's faces, the body language, the facial language, and all the little emotional clues of how someone is feeling. And then you kept all of those little details and you put them inside the virtual world. And that requires hardware and specific software and a lot of stuff actually. And so the first big barrier is trying to, I feel like the first big barrier was we know the big picture. We know what we want VR to be, but how do we actually make it? How do you, and trying to break down this big goal into smaller chunks that we can actually do on a daily basis. And I will say the first big barrier is always like, find this focal point that you can start with. And once you look through it, it's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And then when you do that, you figure the next step and the next step and the next step. And in our case, the way we found this focal point that makes it easy to start and get the first step done, and then the next one, and then the next one, was two things. First one is that I knew very well what I was trying to solve, and I spent the last 5 or 6 years doing VR pretty much every day. So I had a very intuitive feeling of what I was trying to solve. So I knew exactly what pain I wanted to solve first, and what will make the biggest difference. It's, you spend your entire day on Zoom, you get crazy. It's tiring, it's exhausting. So I knew exactly that I want really good sound. I want multiple microphone system. I want good audio networking. And I have this list of things that I really feel like should be solved. I just took the list of all of that and was like, okay, so this is the thing that I feel like is the most important. And not only I feel like that, but all my friends who also like VR and all those people that I talk to, they feel the same way. And then the second one was just looking at this and doing the research, talking with people, talking with other technical people, talking with my community, my friends, and trying to figure out how to approach that and break down into smaller pieces. And if I had an advice on how to effectively break down a big goal into smaller chunk, I would say the most important is that the plan is very unlikely to make sense before you're finished with it. It will be easy to explain it afterwards, but when you're doing it, I think I think it's once you get really that feeling of what's the most important thing to solve, and once it's like instinctive, I know exactly what I dislike the most about this solution. It feels kind of natural of, we should start with that. And then you just dig in and find the technical solution to get there.
Yeah, so basically you realize that the problem wasn't financial to start, but it was technical.
Yeah, exactly.
Technically, we can give also an example of something that you did because you've been creating your own OS system.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
Talk about that.
Sure. Definitely not financial. It was more talking to people and getting to know what we wanted to do. And then on a technical perspective, we were blocked. And we were blocked because we want to build this headset, and that means we got to use a processor, we got to use a CPU, a GPU. We have to use all those existing parts and put them in it. And those parts work, they require an operating system. So operating system, it's what makes your phone work, your computer work, whatever. And historically, the first one built was IBM. It's the first operating system was just those big computer machine just here to do calculation. And then Apple came around and introduced the second operating system. It was meant to be like a personal device, something people could actually use, not to do calculation, but actual stuff. And then Windows and Linux, then iOS and Android. And that's pretty much it. There's like those 7 operating systems, apart from a few exceptions, and that's all there is. And none of them was made for VR. And we felt like we were blocked because trying to build a VR headset using them felt a lot like trying to build a phone with Windows, a keyboard, and a little mouth. It's like, oh yeah, the phone is here, and this is the display, and underneath you have the keyboard, and on the side you have like a little trackpad. That would make absolutely no sense. Like you have to build the operating system for that specific use case. That's why the iPhone and Android exist. And currently, VR headset, they all use Android. And at some point, we just thought, you know what? Let's build our own OS. We don't have to use Android. Let's just try to find the best people in the world at doing that. Let's become expert at it ourselves. And let's try to build our own OS, and it's called Unai OS, of course. And we started in December, and I'm very proud to announce that actually yesterday we released the latest update, and it works. It works well, and it's made for VR, and that makes all the difference.
I can imagine. And you, Clyde, so I understand why you want to send satellite from the airport. I mean, I guess it's because it's cheaper to do so. And so you want to democratize the exploration of the space by doing so. But how do you start in the very beginning when you want to do something like that? Like what were the first big barriers that you had to overcome?
Well, because we're doing a rocket, I can say that technically there is no barrier, but there is some in the project we want to do, because we have like, because in the design of a rocket, you have like maybe 10% of the rocket is design of the design of the rocket is for performances, 20% might be like for maybe equipment and guidance, and maybe 70% is for safety purpose. So if you arrive with a product and you say, okay, today's product is launched, like basically from like local spaceport, and you want this product like to fly over people in the continent and be able to do something I would say transformative enough to allow like a real space logistic. You will have like obviously some technical issue like the cryogenic tank or stuff like that. But for us, the first barrier, I think it was financial. A bit like it was a bit like for the project. I see it as a mountain, you know. So well, the project is basically a big mountain, and the finance we need to like gather together. It's a mountain too, and it's exactly the same process. Like you need to break the milestone of your project into financial steps that have sense to be able to finance a project in the long term, and also be able like to go forward on your project. And basically, you need to merge the your like a kind of a financing plan and
Yeah.
a development plan. That's the tricky
So,
part.
so what you've been working on in the very early days of your project was to prove that you and your co-founders could make it happen because of your background, because of your knowledge, because of your passion and will to solve that issue, and go raise funds. So it's totally the contrary from Max. Max has been focusing technically to prove that he could be right on his own. And you, Clyde, you've been proving that you could solve it if you had that first financial, first money raised, right?
Yeah, I think it's a scale problem because basically a lot of funds ask us for a prototype, you know. So we could not provide a prototype of a 10 meters rocket.
But Clyde, I haven't even been asking you like what's your background and where you were working previously.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
What's your background and where you've been working previously? Because that has been the most convincing.
I think one of the it's not only that, but one of the convincing criteria for this project was to say that me and my co-founder have been working in the defense industry for a few years, and we had we obviously didn't see everything, we don't know everything, but we are used on a long-term project. So there is we have a lot of lessons and stuff we learned from this industry. And what we wanted actually to realize was to, at some point in an industry, you have incumbents that have they need a return on investment on what they decided maybe years ago. And I think that even if no one is wrong in the big industry, you know, they act because at some point the decision they take is the best for the company. But if you have the chance to start all over again and to make the choice based not on the product that exists today, but on the product that you want to have in 5 years, you have a freedom that is extraordinary. That's a bit why we choose to the entrepreneurial way and being private.
That's why you quit your job in the aerospace and decided to create your own. All right, guys. And what I haven't been saying to our audience is that actually you both are brothers. Okay. Would you say one last word just to encourage the first-time founders watching us to start and not to be afraid of being judged as crazy with their big ideas?
Well, yeah. I think the main one for us, it's if you think the problem is too big, break the problem.
Break the problem. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I take it.
I would say that try to talk about it on internet, and it will do two things. Realize that most people don't care, but the few people that care about it, it's surprising how much they do once you do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that's a good driver.
And this community today gathered around the First Time Founder Summit is actually a great community to start talking about your own passion. Max and Clyde, you've been helped by the community of the family, and you know how to leverage it. So, my friends, you are watching us right now. Ask your questions in the chat, talk about your specific case, and all along this summit, there is the chat roulette that is open, and you can meet randomly with other people who are attending this event. Guys, thank you for this little intro. It was great to have your points of views, and good luck both for the satellite and the VR helmets. And I hope we'll hear from you very soon.
Thank you, Alice.
Thanks for having us, Alice.
You're welcome. Okay. So I'm gonna share with you now, my friends, because we are about to start this summit, the program. What is the program? Because we have a full program, and you will have, I know it's hard, you will have to choose all the time between different options regarding to what's important for you in your case right now. Okay, are you ready? All right, so we're gonna start with 3 sessions, 3 options. Okay, you just click on sessions, you see the different options. Either you go for a workshop, either you go to listen to the story of an entrepreneur. The workshop you are about to attend, if you choose it, it's with Ellie from Fiverr. If you want to know how to make the best without any resources, I mean, how to outsource some stuff, some tasks using Fiverr. And I can tell you a lot of startups have been actually bootstrapping their first version of their product using Fiverr. Basically, Ellie will tell you how to delegate and how to count on outsourced talent to help you ship it fast. Otherwise, my friends, you can listen to Canel, who is the co-founder of Vibe. She launched a neobank for teenagers at 20 years old. She is talking specifically about how did she disrupt the online banking with zero experience. And then my colleague Matthias will be, who is the director at the family, will be providing a meaningful viewpoint on how to start a community-based business. Or actually it's not and, it's or you can listen to the story of Florian. Florian is the founder and CEO of Dataiku, and he will be tackling the important topic of how to find your first 50 clients. And then my co-founder and a colleague, Usama Amar, will be insisting on the tips to actually be closing B2B clients when you just start. But I will show you the full program. Like that, you will choose even for after, because I won't get back to you before. And this event, this space is yours, so make it feel comfortable to use the different tabs and have fun. If you don't like one conference, go to another one. You will like every conference anyway. But after that, my friends, you will need to make another hard choice with the sessions between 6:30 and 7 p.m. So you will have to choose between Claudette, who will focus on traction and will answer that question, how does traction feel like? And Claudette is a co-founder of Fempo, an e-commerce website made for women having their periods. And she will explain you that actually she's not selling panties, but she's part of a movement. And you'll understand that it's the key ingredient for traction. And at the same time, you will hear Maxime, the co-founder of Spacefill. And Spacefill and Maxime will be telling you how he found the right pricing for his solution. It will be followed by Balthazar, who will give you more tips on the pricing. And of course, you will enjoy staying with us until the end, I promise, because at the end, what will happen? You will have, again, 2 testimonials or 1 workshop, a testimonial on the MVP. So Corentin, the founder of Refty, will tell us how he managed to code Refty. And Refty is the easiest solution to collect data on your candidates when you are hiring. We are also super lucky to have Emmanuel from Bubble. He will be joining us to explain how so many founders have been actually using Bubble, his solution, to create their own MVPs. Otherwise, you have the testimonial from Jade on fundraising with smart business angels, followed by Ewa from AWS. And she will give you a perspective on this money problem. How do I raise funds with smart business angel? And finally, you have a third choice, an incredible workshop on early B2B sales by Christelle from AWS. Christelle has over 20 years of sales experience. Okay, and after all of that, my friends, after all of that, you will have a conclusion. I'll be back. And the chat roulette. And the chat roulette, I will tell you more about it. But basically, it's the opportunity to meet with other people. And you never know, you can have a great surprise. Why? Because it's a family community who is gathered right now. And we are gathered around the same passion, a passion for tech entrepreneurship. And like me, you believe in serendipity, and you believe in one important value, which is paid forward. And paid forward is a mindset. It's essential to make the most out of these random encounters. So get ready to actively listen to others and ask yourself, how can I help this person? I can give a constructive feedback, I can provide ideas, I can make an intro, etc., etc. All right, if you are open, just a few technical remarks. We are currently on the stage area, and you can see on the left side of your screen, to access to the different talk, you just need to click on sessions, and then you will see all the different sessions available. You just click and choose the one you want to attend. The networking area will still be open until the end of the event, so feel free to jump in for a quick chat roulette if you want to take a break from sessions. And at the end of each session, someone from the family will tell you what are the next sessions, so you can navigate freely if you need help. Of course, we are here in the chat. All right, let's get the party started. See you in 2 hours. And right now, my friends, you have to choose, and it's hard, I know, between Ellie, Canel, or Florian. Have fun. Thank you very much, and see you later.
Que la famille. family.
Hello again. Hello, everyone. So, how was it? I am curious. You could share with us your favorite moments, your favorite talks, your wow moments in the chat, and I would love to see it. We are about to wrap up this amazing summit together, and I hope that, like me, you've seen that there is true gold in there looking back. I mean, beyond the practical advices, I found that we are, you never stop being a first-time entrepreneur in a way. And you keep that candid and curious eye on everything. And that's why actually you joined that event, is because you need to nurture that curiosity. So I wanted to thank you for attending this event. I wanted to thank all of our partners, and it was a pleasure, a real pleasure to be hosting this event with us. Yaprak, maybe you could share in the chat the form. It's very important, my friends, that you fill in that form. If we want the family to get better at hosting this event, we need to have your feedback. Your feedback matters. So be honest, be sincere. Have you been learning things? Have you been enjoying this moment? Let us know by filling in the form. Also, something I wanted to share with you is that these events are cool, but they are useless. It doesn't mean anything if you don't take action. And I hope that you've understood, like me, different things. First, that there is no need to worry if you don't have experience. You can start gaining that experience by doing. You're a founder. You are not an Hollywood actor. As you've seen, amazing startups are created by people who focus on bringing satisfaction to their clients, not on being amazing speakers or the best speakers on earth, okay? They prioritize on the results, and they are authentic in their quest. To get your first clients, you use your existing network. And if you don't have a network yet, well, you join this kind of events as often as you can, or you find someone who does. By the way, I'm telling you this because every month we host an event for you to find your co-founder. It's called Be My Co-Founder. Surround yourself with people who share the same passion for solving the same issue, may it be to co-create that solution, finding a co-founder, or to raise funds, finding business angels. You don't have to be a tech expert. I hope you understood that to start building and testing. You can use no-code resources, and they keep getting better and better. Okay, now it's almost the end, but it's not the end yet, because it is serendipity time, my friends. It is the chat roulette moment. So on your left, you will see a section. It's called networking. Okay, it's right under the session button. All you need is to click on it, and you will be there. You say ready on the blue button. You will be matched with someone randomly, and you will have a quick chat for 3 minutes. You will be matched, and you can keep on matching with people at least for 30 minutes. So basically, you can meet with 10 different people right now. And remember, if you want to keep track of the email of that person, because you felt like you want to go further and to keep the conversation open, if you click on connect with that person, an email will be sent to you connecting you and that person. Serendipity is fun, and it can lead to cool encounters. May it be your future co-founder, an investor, an employee. You don't know who is behind that screen. And I can tell you that the Families community is really full of great surprises, because again, we are gathered around a same passion for tech entrepreneurship, and because we believe in this very simple motto, which is pay it forward. So I'm asking you to be in that mood as well when you are meeting with other person. The pay it forward mindset is essential to make the most out of these encounters. So basically you tell yourself, how can I help this person? You can provide a constructive feedback, you can provide ideas, you can make intros, etc. Thank you. I want also to say thank you to my marvelous, wonderful, amazing team. Maybe you can, if you are here, you can join me. Yaprak, Kyle, Salome, Greg. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so thanks to them, we've been able to create that great event. Thanks to our partners as well. Thank you, everybody. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Very quick, they are all exhausted. We are all exhausted. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are on the planet. See you soon. And
See you.
Have fun networking the chat roulette. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.